Good morning, everybody. It's great to be with you again this week for our weekly update. I'm here with Stacy. We're a bit more apart than last week. Obviously, we got some feedback, and you were absolutely right. So here we are. We are, obviously doing this filming. It's not our profession, as you all know, obviously. So hopefully, you can hear us well, and you will find that actually next week, instead of doing a call, we still have our call, today. But for next week, we'll just be doing the movie, so that way you can actually watch it at any point, during the week, whatever is convenient for you, so you don't have to dial in all at the same time. It may actually be easier for, for all of you. So, what's new since the last time that we connected with you? We have a couple of updates. I'll pass it on to Stacy at some point as well, like we did last time. But as you obviously all know, confinement and stay-at-home order has been passed. For Maryland, for DC, and for Virginia as well, right? To try to curb this, this coronavirus. So we obviously are considered an essential business, as I mentioned last week. So all of us actually have a special letter that we have in case we get stopped by the cops to tell them that we're coming to work here. And of course, we are, keeping all of the precautions you have been told, and you know what we're doing in these regards, right? But the hotel condition or the hotel continues to be in, with the same level of business. For example, today we actually have one arrival. Yesterday we had two arrivals. Unfortunately, they cancelled for multiple reasons. You've continued to see everything being very quiet, and that's what we have. We actually had a wedding this week. They didn't get married here, but a couple came in. You may actually see on CBS very soon a shoot that they actually did here in the courtyard in the hotel. This couple actually got married. Just the two of them. We upgraded them to the presidential suite. Obviously, young couple. We didn't have compression, or we had so many rooms available. We could easily do that. And since they couldn't be in a large group, only a few people, were here on Elm Street when they were getting married, and a lot of their friends passed and stayed in their cars, played music. So you may actually see this on CBS. That should be coming up. Actually, I think it should be tomorrow morning. It's going to be a national thing. And as you know, we had this going on at this hotel. I'm sure that you've also seen what the Four Seasons New York is doing. They've actually have an agreement with the state, and the owner of that hotel has actually, since they were closing the hotel, they've actually agreed to have all of the doctors and all of the nurses be able to stay at the hotel there in New York. So something really really wonderful that the owner in Four Seasons has done for the workers over there. We are not in the same situation as New York, thank God, for the time being, and we as a hotel here are still open, right? So that's the only Four Seasons doing that for the time being, and hopefully we don't have to do those measures everywhere. That's definitely our hope. It means that it's not serious enough. A couple of other things also that I wanted to update you on. We actually had Deborah's going away party this week as well. Today is actually her last day, or it was actually Wednesday. She just came to get a couple of things today. So it was very awkward. You know how we obviously always get together, say goodbye, and in this case we had less than 10 people, not just by by the law, but by design, because that's really how many people are in the hotel right now in terms of employees. But then we had some of you guys from the sales team actually on Zoom. So we had a computer, and we had people record a couple of things as well. So again, it was different than what we usually do, but I think that we were still able to say thank you and goodbye to Deborah in a wonderful way. And I know that she will be sending an email as well, which will be ready upon your return if you don't have access to email. But we'll definitely make sure that you have that information. And I know, speaking about adapting, as we had to adapt for this farewell here. This year we also had. I was on the phone with MedStar, and we are going to have to cancel our race to beat cancer. And when I say cancel it in the way that we know it. I'm sure that you understand why, and for very obvious reasons, but also the fact that a lot of events have been pushed towards the end of the year. And unfortunately, our little race probably won't have priority over some bigger events. So the chances of the race not getting approved by the city is very high. So we decided to instead work towards something called a virtual race, and we're still working on what this will look like, but our goal is to continue to make sure that we raise some money for cancer. This is not the virus that's going to stop us from doing what's right? And so we will find a different way. We're working on it. We'll share with you what that means, but that's something we're working on. And then also, before I pass it on to Stacey, who's going to talk to you about some of the things that have changed since last week, I also want to give you, because I know it's important to you, a little bit what are the optics, right? While I still don't know how long this will last, I can tell you what I see. I can tell you also on the call that we had with the regional vice president yesterday, what we've seen in China as well. So, to be transparent, we've provided a forecast to our owners for the months of April, May, and June, which looks very much the same, right? Because we don't know when we're going to be out of a lockdown, for example. We don't know when the curve of the virus, will start to go down. So we've put a forecast, which is hopefully our worst case scenario of a 4% occupancy. So about 5 rooms a day for the next 3 months, right? By then, will food and beverage reopen? Maybe, right? I don't know that, but right now we're seeing these. This is what we're getting ready for for the next 3 months, right? And you're going to say, wow, my God, 90 days from here. I know, right? But preparing for the worst and hoping for the best is what we're doing. In the meantime, right, when I talk to you about what's happening in China, as you know, it started in December, January in China. We're now, in April. The busiest hotel we have in that region is sitting at 20% occupancy right now, but the majority of them are between 10 and 15%. So that gives you a bit of an idea, even after things supposedly coming back to normal, travel is still very timid, and people are still being very careful. And I would imagine that's going to be the same, with our banquet space, for example, for parties. Even though we've seen actually quite a bit of people shifting their business to July and August, and to Q3 and Q3 and to Q4, right? So that's giving us a little bit of hope. But again, we don't know what's going to happen between now and June, right? And I think that a lot will be decided between now and then. I think that we need to be conservative and believe that what's happening in China will most likely happen here as well, right? So we're being very conservative and very, very careful with our projections, obviously. Again, question and answers on any things that I've said, anything that Stacey will be telling you about. Please make sure that you send us an email so we can get back to you in a timely manner. And before I wrap this up, I'm going to pass it on to Stacey, who's going to cover a couple of other angles here.
Okay, great, thank you. So now, so let me just to give you an idea. You can obviously email us, but then there's an opportunity if you want to give us a call. Either myself or Nellie will be in the office on one of the days. So there is coverage in P&C over the next 5 days. I just want to answer a few questions, specifically around unemployment, and then I'll get to a couple of the other questions that came up. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of employees that have been denied unemployment, and that's because of the base period. They didn't have enough earnings in 2018 and 19. Well, as of April 1st, the base period changed. So the unemployment office, they're just using 2019, your earnings in that year. So if you got denied in March, then please apply again, because the base period did change as of April 1st, because it was a new quarter. The other thing that came up, a couple of people were denied, is because they applied in Washington State and not in Washington, D.C. So please make sure that you're applying in Washington, because that's where your unemployment tax was paid and obviously where you work. With the CARE Act, I sent out the FAQs, the frequently asked questions. I think that all covers and will answer the questions that you have. However, I'm sure there may be a question in regards to your specific situation, so you're welcome just to email me. Employees have been calling about, can they have access to their last pay stubs or W-2s? It's really easy to find that. What you do is just go to Workday and go to the quick links on your homepage. It says US Quick Links, click on that, and it'll take you to some direct links to ADP, so you can see your paycheck, and also to the Benefit Center, so you can see your benefits as well. So that's a really easy and quick way to do it without having to access it with a different passcode. I also sent out a link to the National Restaurant Association's grants. Unfortunately, the system froze yesterday. I received a few emails from you that you couldn't get access. I think they were overwhelmed by the number of individuals that were applying. So keep trying. I tried to call someone this morning, but there wasn't any answer. So hopefully I can get some more information out to you on that once they've being able to sort that out. Just another question that has come up is about 401k loans. So someone asked, can you take out a new loan now and defer payments till the end of the year? The answer is yes. Now, we aren't encouraging employees to take out loans because in essence you will have to pay that back. So please only do it if you're really in need. You can do that. For those of you who have a loan out right now with 401k with Wells Fargo, please look out for your mail because you'll be getting a letter in the mail in order to give you direction on how to defer your payments. So a couple of questions, the same question a few of you have asked is what happens after May 31st in regards to your benefits. So we'll review that and we'll probably be making a decision around mid-May as to whether Four Seasons can cover your benefits past May 31st. So if not, then you'll be responsible for paying the full 100% of that. Hopefully not, but that may be a possibility. So we'll get back to you in the middle of May. And then some individuals asked, would they be eligible for COBRA? Yes, it'll be one or other, either COBRA or 100%. There's not much difference between those two. One other thing I just want to remind, and I know we keep saying it, is please make sure you use your vacation first. And then if you want to use your sick, you can. And if you want to go into the negative with vacation, you can. The only thing that we ask is you use it consecutively. You don't have a gap. And the reason why is, when you do not have any earnings on your paycheck, that will be an indication to us to put you on what we call furloughed in work day, and that will stop you having to pay for benefits. So as soon as you don't have a vacation balance and you don't have any earnings, we will put you on furlough in work day, which will stop you being billed for benefits. I hope that makes sense. And the last thing I just want to say is make sure you check out the newsletter, and thanks to Nellie who put that together with all the links, and we'll be sending out another one early next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacey. Thank you to our, Jason, our cameraman here as well. Before I, wrap this up, I just wanted to let you know how we speak about the fact that everything that you do here at the hotel hospitality is all about connection, right? And I have to tell you that it's been really heartwarming to read some of the notes and to see some of our guests, some of those people that you know very well, that have actually reached out to me, they've actually sent us some email asking about you. So, for example, we had Baroness Gaudi that sent us a note. Mr. Mesfui, one of our elite guests, actually picked up the phone and called me. Tom Donoghue as well, a lot of you know him. He's actually reached out as well. Laura Trevelyan, Mrs. Trevelyan, that's on TV regularly as an anchor, also asked about you and was worried. So Mr. and Mrs. Rodriguez, you may actually remember 2 years ago they were at the staff party with us, and I just wanted to kind of read you a little note that they sent me. So they said, "Dear David and Four Seasons family, Heather and I have been thinking of you, your family, you as employees, and also the business, and we are certainly hoping that you're all safe and healthy. We feel for the pain impacted upon all of you right now, and it is critically important that you know we're thinking about you and that we're here in this with you. We understand how much the service industry has been impacted, and we're certainly hoping and praying that the current state of uncertainty is replaced soon with a sense of normalcy, so that all can return to what we know is normal and be back to our past daily lives. Missing not being able to visit the hotel, your beautiful properties, meeting and seeing all of you who are such wonderful with us every time we come. Please, we wish you all of the best and cannot wait to come and see you once those unprecedented times are over." So I thought that was really nice. This is just one of them, right? But it's, hopefully it's warming up your heart as well to know that there's some people that come here that are guests, right? That are feeling really sorry about what's going on and want, like us, nothing more than for things to go back to normal. So continue to stay safe. Please continue to help everybody and all of us to curb these virus situations that we're in. Everything that you do is working and is helpful. It may not seem like it, but I know that we'll get out of this. Hopefully sooner than later. In the meantime, again, have a lovely weekend. I hope that you can enjoy the spring a little bit by being in the backyard and again, connecting with your family as well, which is one of those things that I've learned to appreciate even more so in the past 2 weeks. Okay, again, I miss you all. I give you a big virtual hug and I hope to see you soon. You take care.